Hiro sets out on a journey to take revenge on the dragon. Hiro trained for years under Juru to become a swordsman. He walks around in search of a clue that can help him in his goal. While calling himself a wandering swordsman, he stops in a city and meets Tomet, who's the leader of a group of street kids that live their lives by stealing from others. The same group of kids decides to steal Grand Troa, a crystal owned by a merchant named Lord Nambuko. The thief is caught and is sentenced to be executed. Hiro decides to save the kid, but in the process, he realizes that Grand Troa is the crystal from his father's staff and demands it back. Nambuko's mage decides to attack Hiro but fails in the process because the Dragon Zord reappears after 10 years. After Dragon Zord appears, Hiro decides to get his revenge and attacks him, but he passes out when the dragon touches him, making him feel heartache. The guards start to attack with crossbows, but the dragon protects Hiro and leaves. The news of the dragon's comeback travels through the whole continent like fire. Nambuko decides to use this emerging fear in people as an excuse to increase sales of his weapon and armor. Hiro and his friends are not welcomed anymore in any shop because they fought with Lord Nambuko. In search of a place to eat, they meet the beautiful Erin. She helps them to find a place to eat but disappears before they can finish. Hiro, his teacher Juru, and his loyal friend Parupa gather at Tomet's place to plan how to get the Grand Troa from Nambuko, as he has already exited the town, leaving his assistant Sharisharu behind to search for Hiro. Hiro is forced to train even harder for his mission, but he can't even beat slimes. During his training, he meets a girl named Serato who reaches there traveling on a sand dragon. She hugs him right away and says he has a beautiful heartbeat. Serato seems to be quite weird from other human beings. She asks Hiro to go with her, but they don't even know their names. Hiro thinks he shouldn't get closer to her and runs away. However, Serato can sense Hiro's location and reaches where he was hiding and saying she will be where Hiro is. This sentence melts Hiro's heart and he allows Serato to stay with them. The next day during the training, Hiro gets attacked by a wolf and gets injured while trying to protect Serato, but she claims to fell asleep during his fight. Noticing Hiro's wounds, Serato reveals her powers while healing him. When they head back, Hiro notices the guards taking some men to be slaves in the mines. He tries to stop them but gets taken away. Tomet and Serato decide to sneak into the city lord's mansion and use the corrupt book records to release Hiro. While walking through town, Serato meets Erin, who has once helped Hiro in finding a place to eat. Erin took Serato to Healing Springs, where they met Nambuko's mage named Sarisharu and got to know each other more. Serato almost reveals about her connection with Hiro, but Erin manages to keep it a secret. Hiro got injured during his harsh training with Juru and is brought there too, but gets in a fight with a monster again, but luckily survived with help from Juru. Even after years of training, Hiro hasn't mastered the swordship yet. He barely knows the basics. When Hiro tells everyone that he decided to travel to search for Nambuko and get back the Grand Troa, Tomet wants the Grand Troa to change his and his other orphan friends' fate. Serato don't want to leave Hiro's side. When departing, Hiro's group meets Erin, who says that the springs attacked was Sarisharu's plan. She also asks to join them since she has the map to Nambuko's place. They all agree to help him in their journey towards the mysterious land named Where Wishes Die begins. On their way, they get tracked and attacked by a bird from Nambuko again. They manage to escape and decide to camp in a forest during the night. Everyone is against it since the bird should have a nest in the forest, but Juru explains the trees give them a terrain advantage. On the next morning, they leave the forest. When they reach a desert, they get attacked by Sarisharu with her magic golems. Hiro recklessly attacks and gets captured. Meanwhile, Juru is restrained. Parupa teleports along with others while Juru and Hiro are left behind to fight. Serato blackmailed Hiro that he should either surrender before them or she will kill Juru. Hiro gets enraged. His eyes got red and his body filled up with a tremendous amount of power, which killed all the soldiers around him and made Sarisharu run away. Hiro doesn't understand it, but somehow he feels the dragon's presence. When the rest of the group returns, they find injured Juru and unconscious Hiro while all the soldiers lay dead around him. After healing them, they decide to continue their journey and find Nambuko on the way, who was combining the souls of innocent humans with monsters to create even stranger creatures. Nambuko's target is to profit by spreading rumors that one of the kingdoms has captured the Dragon Zord to make them buy more of his weapons and armors for their protection. Hiro calls on his devilish experiments, but Nambuko doesn't take his warning seriously and arrests him instead to ask him about his relationship with the dragon. Hiro meets Dr. Baharapa there, who asks him about Serato and reveals realizes that the heart in Hiro's chest is not his. He advises Hiro to meet someone named Theo, and then he teleports him to where Serato and others were. Hiro shares all that Dr. Baharapa said, which makes Juru construct a hypothesis, according to which there is a possibility that the hero's heart could have been switched with the dragon during the Balboa tragedy. That's the reason why the dragon protects Hiro and why Hiro gets a sudden dose of devilish powers, and Hiro can't believe he owns the heart of the creature he hates the most. To kill the dragon, he has to pierce the heart beating in his own chest. After calming down a little, he thinks of another plan. He decides he will use the Grand Troa to switch back his heart and resolve this tragedy, and the journey continues again. On their way, they stop by a destroyed little village which sends Juru back to his childhood memories. This was the village he was born in. His father was an ogre who married a human. Juru's parents were punished to death when ogre hunters attacked the village, leaving Juru as an orphan. Luckily, while roaming around, he found Hiro's father, who decided to pick him up. That's why he is ready to sacrifice his life in order to save Hiro. Suddenly, the group is attacked by one monster. Hiro unsuccessfully tries to use his dragon form, but Juru is forced to kill the monster. Eren tricks Sarisharu to bring her to the Lord Castle, and she tells the Lord about Hiro having the dragon's heart in order to get a reward in return. It reveals Eren's true nature, that she is habitual of exchanging information for other gains. After knowing the truth, Lord orders Sarisharu to kill Hiro. The hero's gang stops at a town to buy some weapons. Juru tells Hiro that Theo, the person Dr. Baharapa mentioned, was a doctor of Hiro's father, and he should go to meet him as soon as possible. During their stay in the town, Nambuko sends another monster to kill Hiro. It seems to have some power related to shadows, as it absorbs anyone who steps into it. Juru starts getting absorbed by the shadow monster. Then Sarisharu tries to kill Hiro. When stabbed, he releases his dragon form again, but this time he unconsciously attacks Juru, who was just saved by Eren. Hiro screams in tears as he regains his conscience and notices Juru's state. When Juru manages to wake up, he warns Hiro that if he keeps using his dragon form, soon that time will come when that evil power will take over his body permanently and probably become a dragon. When Hiro and Serato go to search for Juru's medicine, Eren tells others about Lord plans. The others also talk about Serato. They find strange the fact that she never eats, and that she might be the reason why Nambuko always knows their location. As soon as Juru gets better, they learn about a war that is about to start, and that kids are being used as slaves in the mines. They decide to go to meet Theo, who turns out to be Serato's friend. After hearing everything, Theo agrees to help them by training Hiro. He believes Hiro should work on his magic abilities too. Theo training has unique style which can make it look stupid or pointless in others' eyes, so does in Hiro's. Theo trains him to use an invisible blade called as Kaku Blade, which reveals Hiro's magical strengths to Theo. Theo later asked why Juru never let Hiro practice magic while knowing he has no talent in swordship. He advised him to let Hiro be independent so he can protect himself in future. But at the same time, Hiro's magical power can be very dangerous because it's the only reason he is able to bear the power of the dragon. He also reassures that Hiro and Serato is a pair that should be kept together. The next day, before the group leaves, Theo tests Hiro's powers again, which no one realizes, including Hiro, that Theo experienced the dangerous level of magical strengths Hiro owns. He thinks Barrow's decision to swap the dragon and Hiro's hearts was to keep the power of both in check and to avoid them going out of control. Eren's true identity is revealed before others, and she is left behind after being considered a traitor. The further path of the journey passes through a desert where they get separated into pairs after a sandstorm. Others unite at the oasis, but Hiro is taken away by Sarisharu, who merged with her pet as Serato couldn't stop it. When Hiro meets Nambuko, he tells Hiro that he was the one who interrupted the sealing of Dragon Zord by throwing an arrow at his father. He loves destruction and chaos. He confesses that he has fallen in love with the evil powers of the Dragon Zord and wants to own those powers. On the other hand, the group finds Serato thanks to Eren. Serato was trying to summon a dragon to fly them into Nambuko's castle. The armies of different kingdoms gather at Balboa, unaware of the fact that they are going to be used in Nambuko's evil plans. Juru and others manage to enter the mansion and meet Dr. Baharapa there. Doctor tells them that Serato is actually a doll made with the power of dragon blood crystal. That's why she was attracted to Hiro, who owns the dragon's heart. Doctor tells Serato to run away, otherwise she will be used by the Lord, but she chooses to stay by Hiro. Sarisharu teleports Nambuko, Hiro, and Serato to Balboa while others get stuck in the mansion. Sarisharu reveals Nambuko's plan of combining the power of the armies and all the people captured in the mansion to unite with Dragon Zord and become a destructive monster himself. Dr. Baharapa had escaped the mansion to save Serato. The rest of the group with Sarisharu manage to find a way to Balbagoa. Nambuko uses a spell to control Serato and makes her attack Hiro, ending up awakening Hiro's dragon form. Nambuko orders Serato to kill Hiro, but before she could, the dragon Zord appears. Nambuko starts to execute his plan to use the Grand Troa. That drives a device that combines the soul of the dragon and Nambuko, making him a powerful beast. The Doctor and others try to stop the flow of energy by removing the Grand Troa from the device. But it was too late. Hiro and Serato get back to their senses. But before they could even talk, Lord attacks and kills Serato, making Hiro burst into tears. As a reaction, Hiro uses his sword combined with magic to attack Nambuko, which manages to separate the dragon's soul back to its original form. Nambuko ends up dead, but the dragon is still alive. Hiro figures out that the only way to kill the dragon is to kill himself, but at the last moment he changes plans and uses the Grand Troa and Kaku sword to pierce the dragon's chest, revealing his real heart. However, instead of switching back his heart into himself, he puts his heart in Serato's body, bringing her back to life and ending the existence of Dragon Zord. The Grand Troll was actually a sealing treasure that shattered after its purpose was done. The armies retreat back and peace takes over the continent. Everyone continues back to their lives. However, Hiro and Serato's lives have joined, as Hiro's heart is owned by Serato from